Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome back to Bill Management System Tutorials. Today is our lecture number 21, and in today's lecture we are continuing our previous work that we have done in the previous lecture, that is purchase invoice. Today is our part number 4. Let's start and have a look what we have today. Alright guys, this is our home screen, and in the previous lecture, in the last, we are facing a problem, that is this one. So how can you resolve this problem? This is not a problem, basically this is a common typing mistake. Let me show you what is that mistake. So that error is coming because you have already assigned category drop down with the database, that is a data bound control now, but here for shops I have done the mistake by not assigning the shop drop down here. So I'm correcting it by placing the shop drop down combo box here. Simple. Now let's start and see whether it is working perfect or not. Login and then password, and then you have to go to purchase invoice, and you can see the window is now opening perfectly. That error was resolved. Now it's time to check whether all the code that we have written in the previous lecture is working or not. So let us select the supplier first, and then the owner, and then the shop, and then the category. Okay, one more thing that you can specify here is you can remove the owner, because here if you select different owner and if you select different shop, then it might be a problem for you. Okay, so because you are generating the owner ledger, shop ledger now, so it's a good practice to remove this owner from here. So we'll do that as well. So before continuing, let us remove this, because this is the professional software development and you need to do changes again and again and so many times with respect to the business logic that you are working on. So our window name is purchase invoice, and I'm removing this owner and the owner drop down. Okay, and now I am moving the things upward along with this button, and then move it at the top. Now it's fine. So now you have only supplier and you have only shop. Let us go to the code and remove the remaining things. So I have removed this, remove it from here, and where else we need it, there is no other errors. So let's start and see the results. Login again, purchase invoice, and then add. Today is 8th of July 2019, then suppliers, then shops. Now based on this shop, automatically the owner will be fetched out because the relationship is in between the shop and the owner as well, so no problem about the owner. And now category of the product, quality of the product, product name is, let's say, shirts, buying price is 100 rupees, quantity is 100, barcode is 12345, it's optional, and then the payment is cash. So when you select cash, the cash is displayed here. Okay, and now you are giving here the amount. Okay, one more thing that I must mention here, that this cash amount is for overall amount. Okay, so you are paying the all amount together, or you are paying some amount partially in installments. It's up to you. So leaving this right now and click on the add button, you can see the product that we have added here is displayed in the grid view along with the total amount. Now let's add another product with the other quality, other quantity, other category. The product name is jeans, let's say. The buying price is 125, and the quantity you are purchasing, let's say 50. Barcode is optional, so cash. So leave it for the later purposes. So you can see now. So now it's time to enter the amount. So the total amount that is to be paid here from the owner to the supplier is 16,250 rupees. So here you can give here 16,250 rupees. That's one case, and the other case is you are paying, let's say, 10,000 rupees for the current time being. Okay, then what will happen? So we'll see that. First I am entering the exact amount. Now click on the save button. Okay, it's still saying that fields with static are mandatory. That means here we have to remove the logic check in order to save the record, because when we are going to save record, these fields are empty. We have done these fields, we have make these fields empty on when we are adding clicking on the add button. Okay, no problem about that. Let me close it. And now on the add button, after adding the things, look, we have make them blank, that's why we cannot be able to save the record. So I'm commenting it out, and now let's continue. Or you can do the vice versa code by removing the check controls method from the save button. Purchase invoice, add. Now I'm quickly doing this in order to save time. Okay, shirts, buying price 100 rupees, quantity is 100, barcode is 100 or 12345, payment, leave it, add. And now the other product, let's say it's polyester, quality B or C. Now you are adding jeans, and buying price is 125 and quantity is 100, barcode is 000 or 5 times 0, and then click add. And now the payment type is cash, and I'm paying 22,500 rupees. And now you have to press save button. Now that error is changed, that means we have done still somewhere some mistake. So okay, no problem, there are so many errors. Now let us go to the database and whether there is any insertion in the records. Let us check BMS tables. First of all, open the products table. Is there any data in the products table? Let us check. Right click on it and design. Sorry, not on design, we have to click on edit top 200 rows. So you can see the products are added successfully with their respective records data. Okay, product table is perfectly working. Now let us open the stock. You can see the stock is also working, and then we have the purchase invoice table. Let us see inside this. Yes, the purchase invoice is also working. Okay, status is null. We have to check why it is null. And what else, what other table we have to add here? I think there's a problem inside the vendor ledger or the shop ledger. Basically I'll rename it with the shop. Okay, let us verify now the vendor ledger and the supplier ledger too. So edit, and you can see the amount is added here. Purchase goods from worth rupees this from Walidsons with amount this, and the balance is this. That means the data is inserted. Okay, and here it is inserted again because you have paid 22,500 to the supplier. Now let us open the supplier ledger and check whether the records are here or not. So you can see I think the problem persists or exists here because you see there is no data regarding that particular transaction that you have done just right now. Okay, in the supplier ledger. So let's go and directly visit to the supplier ledger code. We have to come here and close this software, and we have to go and see the supplier ledger. Everything is working fine, but the supplier ledger is not working perfectly as per the analysis. So insert supplier ledger. Here is the code, and HT100 100, everything is fine, everything is 100. Here is also 100. The name of the hash table object. Okay, this is the thing where we have selected cash, and if the amount is less than equal to this, then we are inside this. Okay, but what if we do the other things? Let us come and specify a breakpoint at this point. Okay, and see what will happen. So okay, purchase invoice, let us add another purchase invoice from Walidsons, the shop. Okay, one more shop I have to add here in order to enter new records. DEF garments, and then the owner of this shop is Hamad. Billing branch address, let's say Tariq Road, Dolmen, mall, and manager name is Usama, and then the opening balance of this shop is 1000 rupees. Save. Okay, now you have two shops, DEF Garments, and now let us purchase for this shop. The supplier is Walid Sons, the shop is this, the category, the quality, the product is, let's say, t-shirts. Buying price is 80 rupees per product, per quantity, and then you are purchasing 1000 t-shirts with some barcode, and add. Another product let us add here, that is of cotton quality, of quality A, and t-shirts, and then 20 is the it's 125 buying price, and you are buying 500 pieces of the t-shirt, and the barcode is anything, and now click add. Now you have purchased two things. Select cash, and the cash amount you are paying here 142500, and then click save. Okay, still you can see the error is somewhere before the breakpoint that we have applied. The column name or the number of supplied values does not match the table definition, and there is a duplication of the key value is t-shirt. Okay, now you are coming inside, so that means there is a problem somewhere above, so we have to apply the breakpoint at this point, not at this point. Stop it. The reason I'm doing this all things in front of you, so that you can be able to find out and trace the bug where it is residing. So let's start again, and let us go to the database and truncate the tables so that everything should be proper. First of all, truncate table ledger, and which ledger you are going to truncate? Supplier ledger. Okay, so supplier ledger, and then execute it. Commands completed successfully. Then we have vendor ledger. Copy the code, paste it, vendor ledger, execute. Commands completed successfully. And now you have to remove the suppliers and the vendors as well. So right here, truncate table vendors, but the vendor has their respective shops. Okay, so you have to remove the shops first, otherwise it will give you error. Look, because the tables are related to each other, so you cannot remove vendor first. So truncate table shops, yes, execute. Okay, it is also referenced, so let me remove all the, let me see first the relationship between all the tables, and then I have to remove this. If this is not the approach, because we are directly recording right now, so you can directly go to the suppliers and remove all the records by default. Then we'll truncate and reset the records later on sometime. So suppliers. Okay, so I have the supplier, remove this. Okay, look, it is not removing. Shops, supplier ledger, edit, leave, execute SQL. Look, it is blank. And vendor ledger, edit. Okay, so here are so many records. Right click, execute. Look, because I have executed the query, now you have the purchase invoice. So guys, step by step you remove all the tables, and then all the tables data, and then we'll continue forward. Okay guys, I have removed every data from every table, not from every table, basically the things that are directly involved in the purchase invoice. I have removed all the records from the dependent tables first, and then the parent tables. Okay, so I have removed all the records. Now let us add first again. First of all, I am adding an owner. You can write here, let's say Saad. The phone number is 12345, and the address is, let's say, Sadar. And now click save. Look, owner is added, Now let us add the shops of the owner. Shop name is A Garments and the owner name is Saad. Branch address is ABC. Manager is Osama and the opening balance is 0, and then save. Done all. Now customers of this shop, if you have any customer, so right here. Okay, right now leave the customers because we are dealing with the purchase invoice, so customers are not with the purchase invoice. Okay, so now let's go and see the purchase invoice. And yes, I have added the breakpoint as well. Let me add the breakpoint here. Yes, it is there. Now click add. Okay, I haven't added suppliers, so let us go on the suppliers and add the supplier one. Let's say A and ABC Garments or ABC Factory, whatever the name of the supplier, you can be added, and the address and the phone number is any, the email is any. Right now the opening balance is 0. Save. Okay, look, this is the problem. I think this is the same error when we are adding suppliers. It is showing me the problem. So okay, let us see in the suppliers database what will happen. Right click, edit. You can see the new record ABC Factory is there, but the ledger is the problem, if I am not wrong. Right click, execute. Here the balance is coming and the date of today is also appearing. So what is the problem? Let us see again. Go there, and before heading towards purchase invoice, let us see inside the supplier window. Maybe there is something that we have changed. That's my supplier window. Go to the code and apply breakpoint at the save button at this point. Okay, and now come here and then add another supplier, XYZ Factory, and then address not Karachi, let's say, whatever you can write, and then phone, then email, then opening balance, and then save. You come inside. Now press F11 after debugging, after applying the breakpoint. So you are in the condition of 0, so everything is 0. Now edit is 0. Okay, we are going towards insert supplier, and here the procedure name is insert supplier. Let's see whether it executes correctly or not. Yes, it is executed successfully and the data is returned with 1. That means supplier insertion is not a problem. Now after doing this, let us pick up the last supplier ID, and you can see the last supplier ID is picked up, and now we are in the insert purchase invoice. Yes, that is the problem. Why we are doing this? In the previous lectures, maybe for some reason I have done this code for inserting in the purchase invoice. We are not doing any purchasing right now, so we have to remove this code at this particular point. So after inserting supplier, we have to add the supplier ledger, not the purchase invoice. So let me remove this, and after insertion of the supplier, we are adding the supplier here. Yes, I have commented it out, but in the previous lecture I haven't commented out the purchase invoice code. So this is the problem that persists here. And now let us execute the supplier ledger. I am pressing F11 continuously. Yes, it is executed. That means there is no error in the supplier ledger code as well. And now step out. So you can see supplier is added successfully without any error. I hope it is clear up till now. Okay, now let's go and see the purchase invoice code. Save it and then come here and then start again. Here you can see the purchase invoice ID. I think the problem is in the purchase invoice. So where is the purchase invoice code? We have the last purchase ID. We are inserting the purchase invoice. Let us go and see the purchase invoice table. Right click and edit. Right click and execute. So you have this and the procedure for insert for purchase invoice. Let us verify. Okay, so this is my insert purchase invoice, modify. So here are supplier ID, date and user ID, and the columns are here: supplier ID, date, user ID and status. Look guys, the status is missing. Okay, and there is, I think there is no default value for the status. So right click and go to the design, and you can see status has no default value. Yes, it has the default value, but it is accepting nulls. Okay, that is the problem. So what you can do, you can come here and add a variable here, status, tiny integer, and then right here @ status, simple. So execute. Commands completed successfully, and now you are inserting. So how can you specify the status of the purchase invoice, that whether the purchase invoice is successfully completed or not? So here this is decided based on the balance that you have entered in the cash mode. Okay, if the balance is less than the total amount, then that means the purchase invoice status is 0, otherwise the purchase invoice status is 1. So what you can do, you can do the check before this, before inserting inside the purchase invoice. Where is that code? Here is the code. Here you write st purchase dot add, and here you can add by default this status parameter and put 0 by default. So what will happen? By default the purchase invoice is blank, or the status is 0 by default. That means it is incomplete. Then you insert, and then the last ID will be picked up, and then you store it inside the database. The other code will run. And now after all this, if you are in cash mode, and if the cash is equals to the total amount, if the cash is equals to the total amount, then what you can do, you can create another stored procedure. Create procedure st underscore update purchase invoice status as update purchase invoice, set pi underscore status equals to 1, where pi underscore id is equals to @id, and here you can create a parameter with the name id, and data type should be big int, and that's it. So what will happen when you execute this? Automatically the status will become 1 or 0. Or if you make more dynamic stored procedure, you can enter the status as well, tiny integer, and instead of hard coding here, you can specify the status. So this works for both, for active and for inactive purchase invoice. So execute. Commands completed successfully. This is the update code. So come here, and when the amount, come here at this point and write another condition. If the cache text, copy it, paste it, is equals to gross. Okay, if it is equals to gross, then do this exception, hash table hash update, sorry, pi update is the object name, equals to new hash table, and then pi update. This is the universal CRUD operation, guys. Dot add, and here you can specify @id, and where is the id? So you have taken the purchase invoice, the last purchase invoice id here. Okay, so this is the purchase invoice id on which you are dealing with. So you can write here purchase invoice ID and then copy and paste, and here you remove this, and if the amount is equal to this, then the status should become 1. I hope it is clear to everyone. Simple. If this is equals to this, then the amount then the purchase invoice status is 1. Otherwise, if it is less than this, then it is, you do not have to specify else literally here, because by default the status is 0. If the amount is matched, if the cash amount is matched to the total amount of the purchase invoice, then the status will automatically become updated to 1. Otherwise it is 0 by default. So we don't have to specify else condition here. So let's start, and I think I don't have to debug now, because that was the main problem. I haven't specified the status parameter inside the hash table. Now let's see what is the result. Build succeeded. Purchase invoice, add supplier name, XYZ factory, A garments, cotton, B quality, shirts, buying price 100, purchases of the product is 50, barcode, and add. And then you have to specify another product that is of silk, quality A, and let's say shirts again. But I think the shirt may not be added again if I'll verify it before doing this. Right click and design and table designer and indexes and keys. So you can see the product name, I have made the product name unique. Okay, that's why you cannot add the same name of the product. So what you can do, you can specify global shirts, let's say. Any name you can specify, but different from the current name. And then buying price is 75, let's say, and quantity is 50, and the barcode is this, and then click add, and the payment type is cash, and the amount is 8,750, and then click on the save button. You can see still it is saying that shirts cannot be added because you have added shirts before. Then so this is the problem. So before saving, we have to do something that whether that product exists or not. So you can do this check on the product name type. Okay, you can specify that. Or one more thing that you can do here, you can specify the name of the product. You remove the uniqueness from the name of the product. Okay, so what you can do now, let us add some other names for the purchase invoice, and whether the record entered or not, let us verify inside the purchase invoice. Close everything and open the products table first. You can see now in the products we have shirts already, that's why it is not added again. So let us see the stock. And here you see the record is added with the same ID, though you are using the product for a different purchase invoice. So that is the problem, guys. For this, what you can do now, you can come here and add another purchase invoice for ABC factory. Shop is this, cotton, quality is A quality, product name. So product name, let's say ABC shirt, buying price 75, quantity is 50, barcode is 12345, and payment is cash. This is the later process. Please click add, and now let us add the shirts, but DEF shirts with quality A, buying price is 80 and quantity is 50, and then click add. Now you have the product name different. Okay, and now click save. Okay, cash amount is not added, it's 16,500. Now click add. It is said that insert supplier ledger has too many arguments. Okay, insert supplier ledger has too many arguments. Now this is the last error that we have to resolve. So insert supplier ledger. Let us open insert supplier ledger, modify. So guys, this is my supplier insert stored procedure, supplier ledger insert stored procedure, and you can verify the columns, and you can verify the columns here. Both are similar with respect to the order and with respect to the number of columns. So that means we have specified something wrong inside the code. So stop it and see the supplier ledger code, where we are inserting the supplier, get supplier balance, and then insert supplier ledger is the problem. So balance, supplier ID, we have supplier ID, then description, we have description, then we have debit, we have debit, we have credit, we have balance, and yes, this is the problem. Because we have removed the purchase invoice ID, so this is the problem. That is why the software is saying that you have specified too many arguments. So we have finally resolved this. Now let us check whether this code is somewhere else in the software. Yes, we have here as well, and you can see the purchase invoice ID is here also. So remove this and now save it. Now let's start and see the final checkup for the purchase invoice. So guys, this is the one-time effort, but you will see the results of this very beautifully. Let us add another shop, category, quality, product is PPP shirts, and buying price 100, quantity is 40, barcode is this, add BBB shirts, and then its price, quantity is 60, let's say its price is 68 rupees per piece, and now add. You are paying cash and the amount is 8080 or 8080, and now click save. Look guys, so this gives you the soothing breathe or the relaxing breathe that finally you have done all the stuff successfully and smoothly, and now I am 100% sure that the tables that you have assigned or that you have worked on the back end are now successfully have the data that you have inserted. Let us see the product stock first. Right click, execute. So you can see two new products are there with the amount 40 and 60. This is one verification. Right click on the products, go on edit, and right click, execute, and you can see the PPP and BBB shirts are there along with their buying prices, and the selling price is 0 by default. The purchase invoice ID is different, okay, 44, and the quantity, the quality and the category and the barcode. I have mistakenly added the barcode here. You have to do this barcode as a unique barcode. I hope it is clear to everyone, but you cannot add the unique column constraint here, because if you are not specifying the barcode, then unique can be only null for one time. You cannot make the unique column nullable again and again, because it is a unique column. So in order to, you have to carefully insert data with respect to the barcode. This is perfect. Now let us go to the purchase invoice, edit records, right click, execute. Why I am doing this execute? Because in order to update the result set here as well. So you can see the last record that we have is this one, okay, and then the status is 0. This is the problem. Why the status is 0? If I have added the same amount 8080 and we have entered the code, that if yes, this is the problem, we have done the hash table code, but we haven't used the actual procedure for updation of that particular task. That is why, okay, this is the benefit guys, to check everything. You cannot be satisfied that you see the purchase invoice inserted successfully, so look at the backend as well, whether the data is going everywhere or not. So this is the problem. Let us stop this and do this as well. So come here, and then what you can write here, crude dot insert update delete, and now it is asking you the procedure. So the procedure name here in the SQL that we have created is, was that, let me close it, yes, update purchase invoice status, copy it, paste it, and now pass the hash table, that is PI update. Simple. Now that's it. Now when you pass the perfect amount, it will work. Now it's rest of the checking or the testing is over to you guys. You can let me know after inserting the data as credit, as the payment type credit, and you can also insert the data less than the total amount of the cash amount, okay, and you can check it and let me know whether it is working or not, okay. But do check again and again. Do not come directly to me that it is not working. Do check it again and again. Do it by yourself. It's assignment for you. So hopefully you have understood how we can completely add the purchase invoice. So that's all for today. If you do not understand anything, please do write me. Thank you so much. Take care. Allah Hafiz.